suspecting the Yilhak's name and having Gyoran's men ridiculing him as he steps in. He remembers his grandfather's words and realizes there won't be no more disrespect as he stands up for the Yilhak name with Lee Seon's help. He enters the meeting strong, humbling the cocky Taeyong, telling him if he smokes here, he'll be put 6 feet under. Chapter 20. In the dark times, Lee Seogak stood as king of Seoul, but after his failure to involve himself in politics, people under the rug tried to take a Yilhak to become the next best thing. A lot of blood spilled under the Gudo. To avoid further more, Lee Seogak gave business rights into 4 pieces and acknowledging the bosses above them. Cha Yua tells Taeyong that whatever he did was stupid till Lee Sungmin enters himself, shuts Taeyong himself. He doesn't hesitate, telling about Gyorang's assault on him, and neither does Ryu Taeyong hesitate on admitting what he had done. It's natural he had a trick up his sleeve, and the trick is a photograph of Yilhak with Taizan, connecting it with the assault on HK Loans and Gyorang's capital being ambushed, putting the blame on Yilhak, claiming they struck first, and looks to dismiss the meeting. It seems Baek already predicted all of Taeyong's moves in trying to dismantle the committee, so all Sungmin must do is be the boss. That's exactly what he does, shutting the claims of and playing it cool. Cha Yua isn't having any of it and summons her assassin Baek Dogyeong. Before things get out of control, Baek Dogyeong enters his team, surprising everyone, showing his support to Yilhak, appointing Lee Sungmin as chairman and promising to tear apart Gyorang and warning the other 2, leaving his mark. Till he steps out and meets a familiar face he didn't want to meet, Chief Jang. Chapter 21. Chief Jang has slowly started to be aware of Baek's reasons as the tension between them keeps growing and growing. At Itaewon Hyunggu Loans, Lee Hyunggu, our beloved captain Hook, is visited by Lee Seon to grab intel on the grounding Gyorang area. Naturally, he obliges under one condition. He wants to be part of Taizan. Gyorang is full of activity, as the Gudo's finest, including Dokku Yonggil, is held in captivity by Taeyong, who's here to break news of Taizan's new chairman, Yilhak's young master, Sungmin. Although Ryu Taeyong expresses how he isn't afraid of them, Dokku reminds him that Taizan has Baek Dogyeong. Chapter 22. With the help of Suma, Taizan locates the Gudo held in captivity. The plan is in play. Lee Seon Lim Gyeong, along with Lee Hyunggu, infiltrate the abandoned warehouse while Baek goes to Itaewon Motel and takes care of business by himself, till eventually Chonho joins in on the fun. The Deadly Alliance clean house. Chonho wasn't expecting Baek to be this devastating when dealing with a problem. It's not long till the 2 run into Gyo Chang, who admittedly says he escaped, but Baek suspects something's not right. Chapter 23. Baek's suspicions were true. Gyo Chang was manipulated by Chief Jang to betray Yilhak so that they, the Gudo, may be spared and be appointed as the rightful heirs to Yilhak. Chonho, suspecting the same, takes Baek's place and tries to reason with Gyo Chang, but it's of no use, as he's hell-bent on Chief Jang's bride. With no other choice left, Baek engages from behind and neutralizes Gyo Chang. Lim Yong takes care of things on his side and rescues Lee Somon, but Lee Seon won't have the same luck, as he's ambushed instead by the assassin in disguise. Chapter 24. Lee Hyunggu also makes his way to prove himself to Taizan. He steps up to Jang Man-seok, using his Gyorang tag to enter without anyone getting hurt or suspecting anything. There he finds Dokku Yonggil and gets him out. Lee gets ready to fight the unknown assassin and gives him a definite tough time. Baek, on the other hand, hurries to the warehouse with Chongho and Gyocheng as he suspects danger. Lee Sean continues putting the pressure, both dealing damage to one and other. But no matter how much the assassin cuts or bruises, he's not slowing down. Chapter 25. Lee Somong and Doku Yogil both help researching the others. They find Guangpao, while Lim and Hyunggu find Deokbae, who's having trouble staying alive, and so will the rest seem like, as Ryo Taeyong and Gyoreng have made it to them. Lee Xion was always fierce with a knife, having done countless missions for Chief Jang. He learned one thing from his last mission: no loose ends. He steps it up, injuring the assassin fully, almost ready to finish him, but before he could, it's deja vu for the assassin, as Lee Xion will have to go and finish this some other time and regroup with Lim and the rest of the Gudo in trouble. Naturally, the Ghost Squadron leader blitzes his way, make it to the Gyorang without a sound, and demonstrates his ruthlessness as he takes the head of the Gyorang himself.
Shin binds the threads around Taehyung's neck and tightly clutches them, saying that his fist comes first as always, which is why this bad habit is going to get him killed. Taehyung angrily asks what this is, so he tells him to just consider himself unlucky that he was in a bad mood tonight. He tries to disarm him, so Shin turns around and kicks his knee from behind, remarking that he's a pretty feisty one and tells his lackeys to not move unless they want to get their boss killed. He calls to Parrot to get the wounded out of here, so he quickly gets going, inwardly in awe over how Jeorang's Ryu Taehyung's got subdued that easily, wondering where Taesun got a guy like him from. Shin tells Taehyung that people mostly say things like this in these situations and shouts out for people to make way or else he'll gut their boss like a pig. Suddenly, another guy slashes the threads from behind and attacks Shin, who dodges in alarm before saying that he's got a lot of words for a poser. He easily dodges Shin's strikes, calling them predictable, and slams his knee into his stomach before apologizing, confirming that was where he got shot and saying that it's a pleasure to meet him and that a lot of things make sense now if he's still alive. He asks if Taesun's boss is Baek Yisu, driving the dagger into Shin's hand, and orders Taesun to not move, remarking that his is how you use a hostage and that you can't just threaten others with their life, you have to make a show of it. As Taehyung angrily watches, the man says he'd told him to not be so half-assed before and that he should leave no loose ends before Taehyung rushes forward and kicks Shin in the face, asking the guy what he's babbling about before starting to land blows on Shin one after another. He asks Shin if he's the tout from earlier and tells him to try blocking this now before ordering him to keep talking like he was doing before and to keep pushing his luck as he agitatedly blocks his attacks. Shin quickly grabs hold of his arm, stopping another punch, and slams him to the ground, driving his knee into his face before starting to choke him, as he says he still doesn't get it and drives the dagger through his left eye, saying he made a show of it like he said and asking how it was. He tells the guy to make way if he understands or else he'll just kill him, but he exasperatedly replies that he should just kill him since they don't need a useless punk like that anyway. He asks the other lackeys what they're doing and orders them to go in, but they worriedly stay rooted to their places, seeing which Shin remarks that it looks like they don't want to and that their chief doesn't understand gangsters at all. He remarks that from what he understands, the world of gangsters is different than that of the world of them soldiers. People don't become gangster bosses by just being strong. The one they believe in is the one who becomes their boss. If he wants to play with them gangsters, he shouldn't leave any loose ends, and tells him that the rules on this side of the fence are different. The guy asks him if he thinks logic born from emotions can be called rules, and that this is exactly why punks like them make a mess of everything, inwardly saying that even if Ryu Taehyung gets killed here, all they lose is control over Jeorang, and disbelievingly remarks how a bunch of thugs will stay loyal to their owner. He tells Shin that they'll leave Taehyung and leave and that they'll play by their rules this time, addressing Taehyung and saying they'll talk later. Once they back off, Shin says he'll take out his eye for real later and tells Taehyung to try not to die before then and disappears. Taehyung angrily whirls around and starts cursing Taesun before the guy says they must clear some things up, which he agrees to as the two menacingly take out their daggers. As they leave, Jucheng and Deokbae emotionally decide to go to the young master for forgiveness. Meanwhile, the guy blows a smoke and tells Taehyung that he isn't bad. One could even say that he's got some talent. Gwampel furiously curses Ju Cheng and Deokbi for betraying